Hello and welcome back to the next part of the RENT4RING Debakel. How I crashed and burned at the Nürburgring. Let's get right back into it, shall we? So, we last time we were at the message where I offered her 500 euros to, uh, so she comes to put me in my place. And the next thing she claims here is that I sent her a video of me under the shower. They tried to use this as sexual harassment in the past, and I will show you the video. It's a little bit cringy, but there's nothing like sexual harassment in there. And see for yourself.
Oh, hey, Saskia. Ich war gerade duschen. Ich bin noch total nass. Ich fand irgendwie lustig, wie ich über deine Knödel schreibe. Und du mir schreibst, ja, das sind die Blinken von Rossmann. Klarer Fall von aneinander vorbeikommuniziert. Ja, Spaß muss sein.
Yes, you can see I'm just stepping out of the shower. She in the past claimed he was naked and beep boop. But you can not see any more of me, like my chest, you know, not more than you see in the swimming pool in summer. I don't know. 1 second, I will show you the message she sent me 2 days later. Okay, here I have the 3 screenshots. On the left are the messages before I sent the video. I make Saskia and we both like to feed the little birds that would fly around the house. We would hang up bird food in the winter time, and in German we call them like dumplings, you know, Knödel, Vögelknödel oder so. And I say, hey, it's so cool. I think the birds only take your food. They don't go to my knödels. So, 1 second. So she always said fancy kind of bird food, and the birds usually would prefer her food. And I made remarks, and she said sometimes they are picky, and then I just said you just have the nicer dumplings. And she replies the cheap ones from Rossmann, and then I made this video, okay? And the video you have to keep in mind, this is in December of 2023. So after the huge argument in August, at some point we already had reconciled. The topic was behind us, and we weren't friends like before, but we were like good neighbors, you know. When I asked something, she would help me again, and sometimes we would even spend a little bit of time in her kitchen over a cuppa and the smoke. And when I sent the video, I just came out of the gym. You know, I had a good training session. I was really pumped. I was full of adrenaline and testo. That's just like how the male body works. Okay, if you have a good workout, you feel really pumped up. And I was in a real good. You know, I was on a high, and I felt that we could make jokes like that again, because in the past we could always make jokes like, you know, political not correct jokes or like a little bit sexist jokes. That was never a problem before. So then 2 days she doesn't reply, and I'm at home. I'm like, oh man, I think you fucked up again. Now she's upset with you again. I hope she's not starting the whole mobbing thing again. And then she writes me, I don't have the full message here, but she's like, I wanted to be honest. I don't want to see videos where you get naked out of the shower. That's something you shouldn't be doing. Videos from yourself where you are naked have a bad taste. And here's a funny sentence. She claims, I didn't watch the video. So at this point I beg the question, how can you be offended by something you didn't even watch? But okay, that just on a side note. She says she didn't watch it because she was honestly shocked to get something like that from me, and that she felt really uncomfortable. That's the reason why I didn't answer the last couple days, and I was also very busy. She was at the motor show in Essen at that point of time. She was helping out with the friendly people of Blackfish. Selling stickers and all kinds of stuff. And she also says, I don't mean it in a bad way. I just wanted to let you know, and I hope you don't take it in a bad way. And then I wrote something back like that so much things have changed between us, and that no matter how long I think about it, I don't see the point where stuff turned bad, you know, regarding the argument we had in the past, and that she's now a little bit distant. There was never when I asked her. Sorry, I have a cold right now. Sorry. She always answered, I don't know, I already forgot, and I didn't believe her, but I let the topic rest because I was happy that we made peace again and could, you know, talk eye to eye. I furthermore wrote that I probably are a little bit overcompensating, and regarding the video, I came from the gym and had, it's a German expression, the Schalk den Schalk im Nacken sitzen. Yeah, I was in a mood to make jokes, you know. It was meant as a joke, but okay, I got the message. You can also only see my tits, so it's rather softcore. I don't take it in a bad way. I'm happy that you say it so directly, because you know I don't get subtleties. I'm just that kind of guy. You have to be very strict, direct with me. I grew up in the Ruhrgebiet, after all, where people are always straightforward. You get the opinion straight in the face if you like it or not. So that was the thing about this video, and the message she sent me was a little bit weird. I don't know if you ever read something about semantics. You know, every person has a certain way how they build their sentences, the words they use, and this one smelled a little bit like Mark Müller. I don't know if he was already taking influence on her back then. But at the end of the day, the topic was done at this point. Okay, it was the case was ad acta. This thing didn't stand between us anymore, and that this was December 23. Keep that in mind. And she's using this against me again in 2025. Yeah, you sent a video where he was naked under the shower. Oh my god. Well, I'm not responsible for your pervy fantasy. I don't know. I mean, I understand she told me she doesn't want something like that, and I promised her to not send something like that again, and I kept that promise, and we actually, you know, were friends again after that. Peace was made. So the next thing I'm accused of is, she says, I also got several SMS messages, and they contained, next to several other things, the threat of, when I go down, I'm gonna take you with me. Well, this is a message, I think I sent it in March of 23. That was a couple of weeks after I got laid off, and after Mark and Tim started their conspiracy against me, where they made everybody in the company, they all, how do I say, they all blocked me on all social media, and they just ceased contact with me. They stopped acknowledging my presence, and this was just a little bit after that. Of course, they don't tell that to the judge. And this was obviously a huge blow to me on a very deep personal level, because those were my most important social contacts that suddenly went away. Especially, I never had trouble with Dinant. From one day to another, he became, well, he was mostly passive, okay, but still kind of hostile. Right after my termination, when I had my huge argument with Mark, I asked Pascal and Saskia if they are still cool with me, and if they have a problem with me, because I called the Polizei that day. And Saskia was like, no, it's all cool, man, we don't have beef with you. And just a couple of weeks later, they suddenly stopped contact with me. especially after I just ripped myself another one to reconcile with Saskia. That was of course a huge blow. And yeah, good, Pascal never really played along in their shitty game, but I will come to that later. Taylor, a lovely kid. He also played along in this game. I can't blame him because Mark, I think he felt indebted to Mark because he took him in when he didn't even have a permit to work or to be in Germany, and gave him a roof over the head and a job. And I just met the guy a couple of days ago at the season finale at Retti's place at the ED Tankstelle, and guess what? He could even greet me and shake my hand. It wasn't that hard, you know. And we even talked a little bit, and we agreed that we don't really have beef with each other, despite all the shit show that went down. And yeah, now I'm losing my thread again. I'm sorry. So that SMS I sent, first they don't. This is again another case of cherry picking, you know. They just pick the part that serves their narrative. I don't have the original SMS anymore. Sadly, I lost it. Maybe Saskia is so nice and can send it to me. First, I sent a message where I asked them to help me. That got ignored again, and because I was drunk, because I didn't have suddenly nobody to talk to and I didn't know where to turn, so I got drunk. And my drunky brain got a little bit aggressive. No excuse here, that's just the way it was. So I wrote a couple of things. I'm not sure what I exactly wrote, but at the end I actually wrote, if I go down, I take you with me. But at the end of the day, fat always, you know, rises to the top. So I won't go down so easily, so nothing to worry here. And I actually had a chat with Pascal a couple of days later about it, where I apologized for that, and then at least between me and Pascal everything was cool. So I also this night the police came. They called the Polizei because I was I got noisy in my drunky brain, and the Polizei actually they detained me. I wasn't under arrest. They detained me because this night I also sent the goodbye letters from the time where I had thoughts of suicide. Of course, they don't tell that to the judge, that they have knowledge of me having thoughts of suicide, because that maybe would put them in the bad light, you know. So the Polizei took me in. They said they are worried about me, and for my own protection, they just detained me, and that was cool. I never resisted. I'm a lazy person. I'm a very pragmatic person, and one of the most stupid things that you can do in life is to resist against the police. Especially they showed up with at least 6 officers, 6 armed people. They tell you, you come with us now. You come with them. There's no argument here. And they were also very nice, and I think I blew 1.5 promille that night, so I was really drunky. Yeah, I don't know why she's using that again. This is just, well, it's just bullshit. Something I wrote, but it was just me venting. So what's the next thing here? I got several handwritten letters from the accused in the night of January the 9th, 2025, in a cup on my window, underneath the window, you know, the thing. So yeah, of course, in the time where she was after the bus incident, where I supposedly slammed her into the bus, and she was so hostile towards me. Yeah, she wouldn't allow me to speak to her, so I just wrote letters. But of course she didn't show those letters to the court, because those letters were all apologetic in nature, and I made suggestions how we could still live under one roof without those hostilities, you know, because for me it was very belastend. This really disturbed me, you know. I'm not a hostile being, honestly. I sometimes say stupid things when I get upset, okay? I just sometimes vent. But I never get really hostile. I never did. I have until I met Mark Müller and co. I had a clean rap sheet, okay? So I don't want, I just want to live in peace and harmony, okay? And I want the people around me to live in peace and harmony, because at the end of the day, that's all we all want. So I sent, of course, several letters. She now is saying like this is something illegal to do, you know. And she never told me that she doesn't want, although she actually did, because she never answered. One day I went down in the workshop when the guy from Dekra was there doing the TÜV thing, and I told her, what's going on? Why don't you never answer to my letters? Ne? And she got upset right away. I don't want you to, I don't want your letters, and I want you to stop writing them to me. And then I said, yeah, okay, if you don't want them anymore, I will stop doing that. And I actually did. I stopped writing those letters. And the night of January the 9th, 9th of January. So the reason I was there is because I tried to contact them via Kleinanzeigen, via classifieds. I sent them some messages where I asked them to contact me and, you know, just make peace. Here you can see, hi Dinant, how are you? I sadly don't feel so good. I am still suffering from what you did to me. Why did you have to make my life into hell? I didn't do anything to you, Pascal and Saskia. My beef was with Mark and not with you. That was a real Schweinerei, a nasty thing to do, that he dragged all of you into it. How about we meet for a döner or a pizza? Maybe you can explain to me what all this was about. Maybe you are correct enough and apologize to me. With Pascal I already met and we talked about everything and we reconciled. How about we... I don't know, okay, I already got that. I would be really happy if that would work with both of us too. We both always had a good relationship and you always told me I should stay positive. I'm not upset with you, I'm just very disappointed, like that. Kind regards. And that was what I wrote to him, and I sent a similar message to Saskia, but the image files got corrupted, so I can show them to you, but I sent a similar message to her. So again, they ignore my messages, and since I didn't get an answer, I decided to leave a message in a cup. And it wasn't just any cup, it was the cup, you know. She always served me hot beverages when I was in her kitchen, and she knows that. Of course she doesn't tell that, because it had some significance. It was meant to remind her of our friendship in the past, and I had the hope that she would maybe just talk to me, like Pascal did. Pascal Stegemann, he invited me into his new home with his new girlfriend, where she lives with her kid and the pets. And guess what? Nothing bad happened. We just got some pizza, talked about everything, apologized to each other, and that's it. Guess what? Apparently I'm not the psychopath they want me to be. Okay, I'm gonna read those real quick. 1 sec. Well, I'm trying. I have a hard time though, because I still suffer from what you people did to me, because before the change of year I would like to meet for a comfortable dinner with you. I think there's a lot still to say, and I think that you can answer some of my questions. I also think that you don't want to have anything to do with me anymore, but I will still be grateful if you would meet with me for dinner in the next year, because I want to take the old thing to the grave and want to continue with my life. Well, this year is gone now, and I'm very happy for you that you have a new partner. At least optical, you have better at yourself. have a good Rutsch, yeah? And I hope you let something hear from you. And he replies, hey buddy, you know, I always tried to stay out of it as good as I could, with all the stuff that was going on back then. Nah, it's not true that I don't want to have anything to do with you. It's just that I'm very busy at the moment. I would say that we do this next week. I still have some vacation time, if that's okay with you, and have a good Rutsch too. So, Happy New Year first of all, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm not really upset with you, but I'm really disappointed that you, Saskia and Dinant took part in Mark's Shitshow. Let's meet tomorrow. I have all the time. I can, you can say a time, because I have time. My sleep cycle is a little bit upset at the moment. We could meet at your place, or you can come to me, but I only have a garden chair for you to sit down in. We can look later where we want to get food. I think it will take like 2 hours. I don't want to make a big fuss about it, but I hope it helps me to find closure. So, and his reply is, yeah, happy New Year. I always try to stay out of all the thing that happened there and what they did to you. I really didn't want to take part with this shit. Sure, I had to take, I kinda had to play along, but only because I didn't have another choice. And I think this is a very important sentence, that he somehow felt coerced to behave in a certain way towards me, because that's something they always deny. Yeah, sure, we can see where we meet tomorrow. You can come to my girlfriend's place. She will be asleep because she had the night shift. And then I think it's more easy, more convenient if you just come to our place, so I can take care of the little one. And I'm just saying, yeah, well, you had the phase where you kinda behaved really weird toward me, what I never really understood, but it's bad to clear stuff like this via phone messages, because the written word can be often falsely interpreted. My language, words are hard. They can be falsely understood. Hast du denn, do you have time? Yeah, I have time, that's no problem. Yeah, that's true. Written words can be, it's a difficult thing sometimes. So you can see that I mostly just reached out to the people that took part in a conspiracy against me, in my opinion. And you can also see if they just give me a little bit of room, or just take a step towards me, then I'm not actually hostile. I just want to make peace with everybody. So Pascal already did it. I met another one from RENT4RING who was like, yeah, I don't have beef with you, but I can't really get involved because he still works at RENT4RING, and he's probably afraid to get the victim of Mark Müller's scorn too. So yeah, as you can see, I will show you now the note that I left on the in the cup, in the very special cup. Wait a second. So here it is, the offending note, official police photos. As you can see, they are again do the cherry picking, because now this comes at a later point. I'm just gonna read it really quick. Hey, please contact me. What you did was psychoterror, and that's a form of violence. But I would be willing to accept yours and Dinan's apology. I know that Mark and Tim made you do it, and I'm not upset with you. I'm not angry with you. Pascal was already so kind, so correct. We will see each other. And then I make a remark. I'm like those yellow letters. You can ignore me for a time, but I will come. I will always come again. And they used this sentence against me and claimed that I was threatening that I won't leave them alone. But what I wanted to say with this is, you have to keep in mind, I come to the Nuerburgring and Nuerburg since 2002, and I will continue to do so until the end of my life, because I consider this my home. And this is also the reason why it's so hard to try to contact them and make peace with them, because I know that we will always somehow meet each other, okay? Just because our lives revolve around the Nürburgring, it's just a matter of time when we will stand in front of each other face to face. And this video is all. I will explain a little bit more in another episode because this video is already getting long again. They use the fact that I'm in Nürburg against me. They called the Polizei on me just for being there. And I will talk about that in the next episode. But you can see that this message is actually a message of peace. I'm reaching out to them, I'm offering my hand in peace. But of course they don't tell that to the judge. They only do the cherry picking thing, where they use the part of the message that might be considered a threat, a harassment, with a lot of fantasy. If you are an alcoholic like Tim Bandoyer, you of course see it as a threat when you are a professional liar and cheater. But it was actually, I just want to make peace with everybody. Those idiots. I mean, Mark and Tim, this is this is way beyond help, you know. But Dina and Pascal, Saskia, Taylor, they never did anything to me. I never had really beef with them, and they just have been used in quote as weapons, quote off, because Mark knew that he can hurt me if he turns them against me, and he did. Yeah, great success. But for this episode, I think that's it. I wanted those videos not to be longer than 15 minutes, and now I'm approaching the half-hour mark again. And I'm not even done with the first thing between me and Saskia Stefanie Dombrowski. Okay, see you in the next episode of the RENT4RING Debakel, how I crashed and burned at the Nürburgring. Alright, see you then, be good, bye bye.